just that she is up and now. And thanks to my profession where I have to sit for very long hours and having a bad posture, I ended up with a prolapse disc. And I think I had it for the last 4 to 5 months. I was in fairly bad shape, going through various types of conservative treatments, from taking rest to medications to painkillers to Ayurveda to yoga to various things. And at one point I wanted to make a call towards intervention, surgical intervention, and during that process of learning what is to be done and how to go about it, to make a decision and finally decide for a surgery, we met up with Dr. Nene, and after discussing and understanding the pros and cons of the procedure and what benefit it would give me, one decided to go in for the surgery, understanding clearly that it's not going to solve my back problem, but it's going to relieve me of my pain that I was experiencing due to the pressure on the nerve. And the fact, and one selected the short stay mainly for multiple reasons. For one of the main reasons being, it gave the confidence that I would be back home walking by the end of the day. So that gave me so much amount of more confidence on the procedure itself. And the entire experience at the short stay was fairly good. And it was unlike a hospital stay, to be very frank. The place was vibrant, and happy people around. So the stay was pleasant because of that. Frankly speaking, I never realized I went through a surgery, because the 2 hours, the surgery, I was in the operation theatre, I was knocked out, so I had no idea about what happened. So I came into the room, left from the room, is all that I know. For me it was a very pleasant thing, comfortable, and the outcome was very good for me because my expectations were very clear. I had expected that the pain would be relieved, and that's exactly what happened to me. So I was very happy with the result too, and outcome of the surgery too. Everything in the short stay was good, including the food and the cleanliness and the environment, everything. The only thing I felt was it would be a good idea when the patient is going home, if there can be an instruction sheet given which would say, hey, list of do's and list of don'ts, and what precautions to take, and equally important, contact at this number in case of emergency or something, because it's a short stay here, so anyway I'm going at the end of the day. So in case of an emergency, where to contact, I think that would be a good idea if that can be implemented. Instruction sheet plus contact us at.
So from a symptomatic perspective, it was really quite bad when we came in here, because he had this back problem since almost 4.5 to 5 months. And towards the last 5 to 10 days, it had worsened to an extent where he couldn't even lie down on his back for a couple of minutes. He could barely stand, and most of the times he was prone on his stomach. And we met with Dr. Nene, like he mentioned, about a month ago, and he took us through the pros and cons of doing the surgery. And he also explained very clearly to us what would get relieved and what would be expected at the end of the surgery, and what is it that he would have to do post-surgery to strengthen the back. So that gave us a lot of confidence in terms of going ahead with the surgery. And like Narayan mentioned, the fact that you could be home by the end of the day, we stay on the 3rd floor, he said you could climb up 3 floors and go home. So that kind of indicated his confidence with the outcome of the surgery as well. So that's what actually motivated us to go in for the surgery. The entire short stay thing was very pleasant. Right from when we came in, there was someone to receive us down, and they took us up and they took him away and made him comfortable while the admission formalities were completed, and they kept him in the room for as long as possible before going into the OT, so that period of waiting was also reduced. And even when I was waiting, whenever I asked for information, and even when he went into the recovery room, there was someone who came and told me. The only couple of things that I felt could be improved were really the chair for the relative in the waiting in the room where the patient is. The chair is really quite uncomfortable, and there isn't anywhere where you can stretch your legs, or you're here for nearly 12 to 18 hours. So if that chair can be made a little more comfortable, more like a lounger, maybe with the legs, with a leg rest as well. And also a vending machine which dispenses tea or coffee on that floor would help, because you want to wait there because you're worried there might be some news you'll miss out on. and you have to go 2 levels down to even get a cup of coffee. So that would be nice if there was a vending machine there. Otherwise, it was very comfortable. Staff is extremely pleasant, and the cleanliness of the place is absolutely fantastic. And even after we went home, there was a follow-up call from the short stay people asking about how he's doing, etc., which was really, really nice. So you felt that you were looked after even after you went home, and you knew that you could. They would call you back and check how you're doing. So that was really nice.
Frankly speaking, the way as far as the cost was concerned, now I'm not medically insured. I don't have an insurance. So I definitely was looking at something that would be cost effective too. Well, I will be paying more for the surgery than the other things around my surgery, like the room and other things. I think in that sense, again, the short stay was very good because it's like practically 50% of the cost of in Hinduja itself. It costs much less as having to check in and staying in here. I didn't go about doing too much of fact finding on that. As far as the price was concerned, I was more concerned about the medical care that I would be getting. So with regards to that, it was only a relative comparison on price that we did, and it was really effective. I think it really worked out well for us, and it made a lot of sense, frankly speaking, because if I don't need to stay here, I'm just spending it's like a hotel stay. Then after the surgery, it's just a hotel stay where I'm pampered and looked after. So one need not spend money on that. It's the surgery and the medical care that you need to spend on it. So my money was effectively spent, is what I would say.
And actually, what I really felt was that when you talk of spine surgery, it's usually a very scary thing. I mean, probably because I'm a doctor and we'd read up so much on it. We educated ourselves about a lot of the stuff, but actually spine surgery, when you mention it, is very scary. Even when you tell people I'm going to do spine surgery, everyone says, oh my god, you're going to do spine surgery. And compared to that, the experience was really, it was fantastic, because you just came in the morning, you did the surgery, and you literally walked out about 5 or 6 hours later. And during that stay, his recovery also to me was quite miraculous, because he came in, like I said, in a prone position an hour after surgery. When he came to the room, they came and mobilized him and they made him walk. So in that sense, the recovery was rapid. And this whole bogey of spine surgery is so difficult and it's so dangerous was effectively laid to rest, because Dr. Nene first of all made it sound very, very comfortable and gave us the confidence to go through with it. And the whole experience of short stay actually takes away from the fear of undergoing something like a spine